This year we got a total of 8 gifts that came out on random days starting December 8th, but just like every year we aren't able to open them to find out what's inside until Christmas Day. Well, today is actually Christmas, so let's figure out what's inside of these gifts, and guys, let me just tell you, some of these are absolutely game changers. So, starting with the delicious pink present of Bubbly Fun, which was the first gift that we actually got, which appeared on shelves in Fancy Furnishings on the 8th of December. If you're a longtime Lumber Tycoon 2 player, you probably already have some idea of what's inside of it. It's an annual release, so every year we get this gift, it's just in a different color, with the contents following the same pattern. So inside of it is a pink numbered ball. If you don't know how these work, basically the first ball to ever be opened will show a number 1 on it, then next a number 2, etc. And this is calculated across all servers at the same time, so that means that low numbered balls are very sought after because there's only one of each numbered ball. Now, numbered balls can be duplicated, so there technically can be more than just one of a certain number, but only if the owner dupes it, which owners of rare numbered balls generally don't do, just to preserve their rarity. But anyways, it's time to move on to our next gift, which is the Wobbly gift of Doom and Despair, which is of course yet another retexture of gifts we've gotten in previous years. Inside you will just find a regular old Wobble Bobble. This one has a sad expression, and just like all Wobble Bobbles, it is very weighted on the bottom, so usually it will land face up. And like all Wobble Bobbles in the game, it can be attached to the tailgate of trucks. A lot of people think that this increases the stability of trucks, but that's not true. Moving on, we have the gift of Individualism, which was found in the fine arts shop. Its location and size pointed to it likely being a painting, which today we can say is true, as inside of here you will actually find the self-portrait. Basically, the way this works is that when you place it down, a few things happen. Most obviously, it shows an image of yourself. Well, actually, it's an image of the person who owns the base that it was placed on, so if you were to place this on someone else's base, it would just show their face. But the exciting news is that that's only initially, so after you place it down on the base, it'll show the owner of the base, but then if you place that on someone else's base, it will still be the original owner of the painting. So that means that you can place down an image of yourself on your base and then move it to a friend's base, and you guys can each have pictures of each other. But that also means that important names in the community, like YouTubers and things like that, can place pictures of themselves on other people's bases as kind of like a signature, which is super exciting. Now, to prevent fakes, there's also a username in the corner, which is the username, not the display name, which means that people can't just set their avatar to someone famous like Defaultio and pass it off like it was placed by Defaultio and try to sell it and stuff like that. These might be able to be duped though, so beware of that. So yeah, this is basically just like signing bases, but much faster and cooler because you have the actual avatar of the player. Now, the avatar of the player does update, but it takes a long time, so if you change your avatar, then it'll take a while, but eventually the avatar will update to your new avatar, so it's not like a snapshot of what you looked like when it was placed down. But anyways, finally, behind the player, there is actually a randomized scene of Lumber Tycoon 2. So here are all of the possible backgrounds that I know of. There could be more, there could be like a really rare one, but these are all the ones that I could find right now. They're just random places from Lumber Tycoon 2, which is pretty sick. We got the swamp, we got the taiga biome, we got the dock, and we also have the cherry meadow. But anyways, I'm very excited about this painting because if you look at the back of the self-portrait, it's actually a 5x5 piece of light gray metal, which is a game changer for builders since it is super easy to use this for builds that require the color gray since it is a perfect stud ratio. For example, the gloomy paintings which look like black wood on the back, they're not on a perfect stud ratio, so there's always gaps in between them, so you have to to glitch them together to make them look good. It's a whole process, but since this one is perfectly 5 by 5, you can just place them against each other and they look perfectly seamless with ease. Moving on to the next gift, we have the Hasty gift of Refinement, which opens up to a brand new axe as expected. I saw a lot of people saying that it might be a chainsaw, which would have been super epic, but it's actually completely fine because, guys, this axe is absolutely OP. If you take it over to a tree right over here, you can see that it absolutely destroys this tree. And by that, I mean it does no damage whatsoever to the tree at all. Yay! I always wanted a useless axe. Thank you, Defaultio. Hold on though, because that's not actually the whole story. It does no damage to trees, but to planks, it is actually the best axe in the game. Currently, the best axe for all trees and woods in the game is the mini axe, which is only beat by axes that have a specialty for the specific wood you are cutting. But now with the refined axe, as long as the wood has gone through the sawmill, it's better than every single axe at most woods. It's better than the Bluesteel axe on blue spruce. It's better than the overgrown on zombie and goldwood. It's better than the frost axe on frostwood. It's better than the pie axe on cherrywood. The only instances where it's not better than other axes on planks is on lava wood with the fire axe, koa and walnut with the gingerbread axe, and the cave axe on cave crawler wood. But that's for like 4 woods. For every other wood in the game, this axe is the best axe to use when the wood is in plank form. And already most people just have a mini axe only, since while it's not technically the best on, for example, frostwood, on which the frost axe is better, frost axes are not very good for most other woods, so the mini axe is just the best axe overall to carry around, just because it does really good damage to all trees overall, even though it's not the fastest in every single instance. The mini axe is usually the fastest or second fastest axe, so you might as well just have that one on you instead of carrying around a bunch of axes. Pretty much same story with the refined axe, although it is now better than the mini axe on processed woods by far, with a damage of 12 and a cooldown of 0.6 for all planks. Its damage per second on processed wood is 20. Let me just tell you how freaking crazy that is. The mini axe has a DPS of 5.37, so this is 4 times better than the mini axe. This axe is by far the new best axe in the game for builders. Of course, you can't chop down trees with it. You'll still have to use your mini axe or specialty axe to chop down those most efficiently, but this refined axe is absolutely the best axe in the game for chopping wood into small pieces for building. Yes, auto choppers can do it all automatically, so you don't have to do it manually, but there are still lots of instances where using an axe is best, and this axe just made it even better. The next thing on my table is the Bluesteel axe, just because it was released this December, but it's not particularly new, and it's not a gift, but I do just want to say that there is now a new UGC accessory up on my merch store, which you can pick up for 145 Robux. That's just this Bluesteel axe on your back. It's perfect for Lumber Tycoon 2 players, and I'll leave a link to that UGC in the description of this video, in case you are interested in having a freaking Lumber Tycoon 2 item on your back. This thing is sick. But anyways, the next gift is the trivial gift of 10 tangents, and inside you will actually find a 10-sided dice. You can roll it and you'll get a random number 1 through 10, which will be useful for games and stuff like that, but what's really cool about it is that each time you open the box, you'll get a randomized brick color. According to my calculations, there are 208 brick colors that it probably chooses from. It just takes a random color from Roblox's brick color palette, although there are some possible brick colors that it could choose from that are not listed in this palette, and if you want a full list of those colors, they're listed on the Roblox wiki page on brick color. But yeah, in case you guys are wondering, pink dice are not rare. It seems like you have the same chance to get a hot pink dice compared to any other color, and I mention this because often rare things are pink in Lumber Tycoon 2, so just so you know, that's not the case with this one. However, there is a super rare variant, which is gold, so I would highly recommend that you just start opening a bunch of these gifts. They are on shelves still, so you can still buy them, so I would recommend just going back and forth, grabbing as many as you can, and trying to get this super rare gold variant. It's super awesome. The defining feature, of course, is the white text. It'll just look like this. Anyways, next we have the Twinkly Gift, and inside of it is actually magenta icicle lights. I saw a lot of people predicting that this might be a pink wire, but it just appears to be magenta icicle lights. It's just a magenta version of the icicle lights we already have in the game, and it can be lit up with a powered output. These ones were in the game, they were just unreleased and only existed in the game because exploits and duping caused people to get a hold of them. But this is super cool to see, since magenta icicle lights have actually been unreleased in the game files for years, but never actually got released. But now that they are officially released, it kind of sets a precedent for maybe more unreleased items like the pink neon wire and maybe even the skull to be officially released as well. We'll have to see if that ever comes to fruition. And also beware of people trying to sell you magentas right now. They are officially released, so they're not rare anymore. Anyways, next we have the gift of spooky knowledge, inside of which you can find Frankensign by Captain Hoover, which is obviously a parody of Frankenstein. The description reads, "This horror novel describes the terrifying theoretical of bringing sentience to signage." But what's super cool about this item is that it was actually made by me. I actually made the retexture for the book, and it was supposed to be released for Halloween, but that never actually happened. So Electro just made a gift for it and just submitted it. So yeah, it's super cool to see this in the game. On the side of it, it says the modern Prometheus, which is a parody of the alternative name for the original Frankenstein book in real life, which is the modern Prometheus. There's a lot of lore behind that I'm not going to get into. But enough of that gift, it's time to finally reveal what all of you guys have been waiting for. The last gift we got this year, which is the rugged gift, which appeared in boxed cars, which obviously means that it's going to be some sort of vehicle related gift. And inside of this one, we actually get to see that it is the ATV, which is super awesome. ATV, by the way, stands for all-terrain vehicle, and this vehicle is super similar to the snowmobile, which we got a couple years ago. It can be dragged and can even be placed in the back of your truck and you can drive it around. And this vehicle is actually super OP. So it costs 600 to respawn, which is a little more than the long truck. So it can be pretty expensive trying to get a pink ATV. But yeah, this ATV is actually technically the fastest vehicle in the game. And how fast? Well, that might just be a topic for an upcoming video. But anyways, that is pretty much it for all of the new gifts. I heard that they're gonna stay on shelves for a couple of days, so make sure you pick them up while you still can. I don't know everything about these gifts yet, so I'll just have a pinned comment down below with corrections and updated information, so make sure you check that. But anyways, that pretty much does it for this video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss upcoming videos on more information as it comes out about these items, and I'll see you guys in the next video once it's out. See ya!